Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Petey, and forgive me, I'm a little ill. Today, I wanted to take a look at this Kevin Q's Facebook. We see some sparklers. Obviously, a festive occasion as they head off to the airport. And look at this Festival of the Lantern. Kevin with his son, as they are traveling to apparently China. Great Wall. You can see that from space. And the Great Tunnel as well. The Great Escalator, the Great Sewer Cap, and excuse me, I'm ill here. And look at that skyline. I have never been there, but it really looks beautiful. And here we have civilization. And we're getting closer. Did you see it? What's this? Well, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's the NUX MG50 Li with 14 effects blocks. Modeler and profiler. The NUX MG50 Li. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. A new flagship multi-effect from the hero of the budget line, the mighty NUX. I have the MG30. I have the MG300. Will I end up with an MG50? Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It looks pretty similar. There's a little bit more going on. You get a little bit more here, you know. But I like what I see and I love what I hear. My NUX MG30 is just an excellent product for considering the price that I paid for mine, which I believe was $215 is what I paid for my MG30. And I'm still using it and I'm still in love with it. The version 5 firmware really opened that turkey up. It gave the ability to fully utilize the scenes and changing whatever you want. It was a little limited before that as far as what you could change, just some parameters. Now you can just do whatever you want on the scenes. And they give you the option to change the reverb block to a secondary delay block, which I jumped on this opportunity because one of the delay models, known as the Duo Time, is a stereo dual ping pong delay with a built-in passable reverb. It's got a decent reverb on it. So I like to pair up the Duo Time with a panning delay and just get a ridiculous amount of echoes going on. Now, mind you, if you set it up right, meaning you don't turn up the mix really a lot, and if you know the tempo of the piece of music and you enter that and you have everything tap tempo so it's synced up, becomes much less intrusive. It's the type of thing that you really notice it when you shut it off. So I'm a huge fan of this, not for the delays and the echoes, for the amp modeling. This is where the NUX MG30 really shines. You don't so much get your dirt and your distortion from pedals. You get it from amp models. And the way that this thing responds is really phenomenally. I like to run a couple. I run 3 boost units. I run a treble boost, a mid-range boost, and a bassy boost. And again, excuse me for being ill. I'm sicker than a dog here. But I run those 3 pedals in the effects loop, and I set them at the beginning of the chain. And you say, well, why would you do that? Wouldn't you just run them, like physically connect them before? Well, I did, and I tried it both ways, and it sounds and works better if you do it in the loop, just the way that I describe it. So the guitar is plugged into this device, and it comes out the output buffered and into the input of your first, which is a treble boost, like a Rangemaster type of a thing. And of course, the Rangemaster will just completely neuter your signal, gets rid of a lot of the mid-range frequencies and all of the bass. So I run some complementary, more mid-range centric and bass focus boost circuits. And depending on, like if I'm on the neck pickup, well, that's really bassy. I can run my mid boost in conjunction with the treble boost. If I'm on the middle pickup or the bridge pickup, well, then maybe I'm going to want to disengage that mid boost and go ahead and select the bassy boost. But always running the Rangemaster treble booster. And I've tried a bunch of different solutions for that. Really, you have to take the good with the bad when it comes to a germanium Rangemaster. Meaning, there's a little bit of noise, there's a little bit of hiss when you're tuning. You'll hear that and think, wow, I sound unprofessional. You have to realize, no, you should be silent tuning anyway. So, it's not really that big of a deal, especially if you use a noise gate. But if you go down this rabbit hole, you're going to want to try everything. The 83 TB is really good, silicon version, and that's Brian May was using that. And then the other one that I really love is called the Omega Boost, and that's a group of people who call themselves Runoff Groove, and they built that circuit. They designed it specifically to solve the issues of the Rangemaster eating. It uses common off-the-shelf parts, and it uses, I believe it's a MOSFET and a JFET. And it does have something. It's got a thing, and it's quiet. So I really like that one. I like the 83 TB. It doesn't neuter your mids as much. It does get rid of the bass frequencies. It doesn't cut as deeply in as like a regular stock Rangemaster, or if like people mod Rangemasters, they put a couple different input capacitors and they'll have a potentiometer to like fade in between those two values. So you can decide on the frequency point at which you're neutering or cutting, or actually it's boosting the signal, right? So that's how I like to do it. I'm using a lot of clean amp models. I'm not doing a lot of high gain. And when I do the high gain stuff, a lot of times I'll still keep my treble booster on. So Bob's your uncle. And I'm excited about the possibilities for this NUX MG50 Li. I'd love to get my hands on one of these. NUX, send me one for a review. I'd love to review this on my channel. Thank you guys. You heard it here first. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds is what I like to say. And I remind you to hug your pets. And of course, I'm praying and sending out good vibes to my dear friend today on his birthday. We are praying and sending our good vibes. Anyway, you guys, I will talk to you soon. In the meantime, do not forget the most important thing is a hug, a hug, a hug for that pet of yours. I've got one right here, my little buddy Kita. Hello, Kita. He's a nice little boy. Would you like a treat? He's going to have a little Temptations brand treat. This is how we do it. Yeah, he's having a hard time getting this open. Yeah, these fingers are all taped up. My ingrown fingernail problem caused me to perform some home surgery. So I'm extra crabby today, and I think I'm actually going to take a nap. Bless you. Sending out good vibes, prayers, and love. In the meantime, hug your pets, and peace.